it's Jenny. Welcome to another process video. I'm just showing you some bits and pieces that I am using. So this is my hip kit for November, and it has lots of different pieces from lots of different collections. So I'm just giving you a little bit of a look and some of the pieces of paper as well. And I'm going to do a Christmas layout with these. So I predominantly don't like using Christmas papers. I'm not a big fan of Christmas collections. So the layouts I'm doing are not going to be highly Christmas themed, and so I am picking the pieces of paper that look the least Christmassy, and I'm going to work with those. So I don't like the greens of Christmas, and I'm really just not a fan of Christmas themed things. So I will use a lot of these in my December daily, and I will do my best to make some Christmas layouts that aren't so Christmas themed. So I'm just cutting apart that element sheet from the 12 by 12 with all the cut aparts on it. And so I spared you the boredom of watching that, and I've picked this nice piece, and it is Good Cheer from Elle Studio, I think that was. I've cut the branding strip off and used it. So I'm using a photo today that I've printed out with a bit of a grid design. I was seeing which one I liked best, and I'll use this one without the border. I used that photo with the Becky Higgins app on the phone, the Project Life app, and was able to print the photos like that, and I thought I would just leave it as is. So I'm just going through the cut apart pieces from the Elle Studio pack, and I'm just pulling out the bits that aren't so green, and I'm going to use those. So this one's going to be a layout that's has a lot of aqua in it and spots of pink and red. So just working out the placement for this page, and I liked this little cut apart that said, "These days are filled with joy and love. You can feel the magic in the air." So that was a really cute one. And so I'm just working out some layering on this layout, and I'm going to use the branding strip, like I said, off the piece of paper and give that somewhere for the photo to rest upon so that it doesn't look like it's just floating. And yeah, like I said, this page came together relatively quickly. So I'm just having a little bit of a look at some of the elements that I might want to cut off and use. So I've got that little happiness is, and I wanted to put December the 25th on top of that. And I'm just having a look at through this little tag pack as well and seeing if there's anything I can use. And I really just want to see the top of that tag there. So I end up cutting the bottom half off and tucking it all under. So I'm pretty much happy so far with how this layout's going along, and I decide to stick that branding strip down first, and then I can start placing all of the other elements on top. So this was a gorgeous kit, but like I said, I don't particularly like Christmas themed things, so I know that I might be in the minority there. Let me know whether you struggle with Christmas themed things as well, or whether you'd prefer not to use them. I actually looked back in some of my albums and realised that I don't ever scrap Christmas, which is quite funny. So I either get really busy on the day and don't take very many photos, or I take a lot of photos but don't actually scrap them. So my goal this year was to scrap the photos. So this one was done on Boxing Day, so I thought I may as well, I've got a little bit of downtime, do a couple of layouts, and if I only get a couple done, then I'm happy I've done more than I've done on previous years, so that's a win-win. So as you can see, I'm just sticking down some of those elements, and that was a cute little frame there. It says on the bottom, Holiday Magic 2014, and I'm just deciding whether I want the card sticking out of the top or underneath the Polaroid frame. So I quite liked that nice little cream and white little tag there that says Merry and Happy. So I've decided that I'm just going to place it on top. So I was happy with the way this layout turned out, not overly themed. You can still see that it's a Christmas layout. We don't have snow here at Christmas. It's our summertime and our Christmas day was hot, hot, hot. So I don't really like the pages that have snowflakes, or there were quite a few little cut aparts in this packet that, you know, had warm and cozy, or, you know, snowflakes and things like that. They don't apply here in Australia, so I just make do with what I can. So I've pulled out some of these little wood veneers from the L Studio pack as well, and trying to make them work, but I end up not using them. I keep them for another page, but like I've said before in my previous videos, I actually like to play with the product and place it on the page and get a bit of an idea of what I like and what I don't like, and that way I can get a visual look and I can take it off. So I'm not sure what's happening now and why I have disappeared. So perhaps I've gone to answer the phone or something, but look, here you go, I'm back. I've just grabbed these little stars, little rub-ons from Studio Calico. They were really cute and I thought they would add a nice little bit of a silver touch to the page. So the grey could pass as a silver touch, and so I thought I would add some of these little stars as well. And I just cut them out, so these ones rub on really, really well. So I just cut some of them out so that I didn't accidentally rub more than I needed onto the page. So the layout is pretty much done. Just moving things around, except for I can't quite decide where I want to put that little tag that I had on the top, that one there with the little heart. When I place it there, it sort of looks empty because there's nothing underneath it. So I do come back and fix that up after. So just having a bit of a look. So the Mary's not stuck down yet. Here I go. I'm going to fiddle around, and I'm not quite sure whether I want to have it up the top. I quite like it down the bottom, but then because I've already committed and stuck most of those elements down, it looks to me, when I put it down the bottom, it's too crowded in the bottom third of the page. So I decide that it needs to go up the top, but I want to put Christmas. So I've got the Mary banner and I want to put Christmas 2014 somewhere. If I put the words up the top, they look like they're floating, and I don't want to add any washi tape or anything else up to the top. So I just play around a little bit. I quite like it underneath where I had it on the blue strip, but you will see. So it doesn't. Titles don't always come easy. Words don't always come easy on the page, and sometimes it's just a matter of fiddling around and seeing where I like them the best. So there, the Christmas looks like it's sort of floating in the air. So I need it to be grounded on something, and I wanted to put it in a place where it had the right amount of space. So there, I quite like that, and in hindsight I think that looked really good, but I wasn't sure if I had crowded it down the bottom too much. So lots of playing. So if you get frustrated and think you're the only one who struggles with the titles, you are not the only one who struggles with the titles, as you can see. So what I've done is, all I did was move that little tag to the right a little bit, and it gave a little bit of space for the Christmas to fit on there, and that way it's not floating in the air, and I was happy with that. So sometimes it's just a matter of committing to a place and just sticking it down. Not going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth like you saw me do today. Just being happy with where it is, and look, if it's not the perfect place, oh well. Look, the page is done, I've had fun, and that's all that matters to me really in the end. I'm not going to fiddle and fuss too much. So I'm just looking at where I want to put this 2014, and I decided to put it on that little green banner because it was looking a little bit lonely by itself. And excuse me, now I'm committing to putting the Mary up the top, and I pull out my tiny attacher from my drawer and just add a couple of little staples in those banners as well to keep them in place. And then I add a few more little staples to the sides to just continue that little metal element throughout the page. So here I am now fussing with that little piece. I'm not quite sure where I want to put it, and aha, I can fill that top area now with that Happiness Is December the 25th, and I still try to make that little grey tab work with the heart, but I don't end up finding a home for it, and I just put it away to use on another layout. So I get some foam tape, and I'm going to put that up and make it a little bit more dimensional. So there's the love heart on the tag over to the left is also on foam tape, so that's up high as well. So there's a few little height differences in this layout to give it a little bit of added dimension, and it's pretty much done. Let's have a look. What am I doing? Just cutting off the little excess on the sides, or putting the staples, I think, at the sides. And it's pretty much done. So that's my first Christmas layout for 2014, and maybe my first one ever. I think I used one for a design project for something I was on one time and didn't particularly enjoy it, but I really enjoyed doing this one, and I really like how it worked out. And yeah, I was happy with the way it turned out. So I would love to see your Christmas layouts, and let me know whether you enjoy making them or not. And if you could give me a thumbs up if you like this, or let me know in the comments section if you're enjoying my videos. It just really helps me to gauge whether I'm doing well, or whether you'd prefer to see something else. So anyway, I will stop rambling and I will leave you to it, and there'll be some close-ups coming up, and I will see you next time. Bye!